Okay, I know the Vancouver Canucks are going out there and playing off against the St. Louis Blues in a matter of minutes. But this video, it's not really gonna be a pre-game thing. I feel like this video is gonna have a little bit longer of a lifespan than that, so instead of talking about the upcoming Canucks and Blues game, I wanted to dive into some of the other news and notes around the NHL and how these talking points relate to the Vancouver Canucks. So, earlier this morning, it was announced by the Colorado Avalanche that one Martin Necas received an 8-year contract and the pen was put to the dotted line. Necas has signed for 8 years and the AAV is $11.5 million a season. That's 11.06% of the cap hit. And honestly, you think about the fact that Mikko Rantanen had this entire long, drawn-out saga, and the Avalanche almost reinstated that long, drawn-out saga again this year with Martin Necas. This is a tidy piece of business. $11.5 million is a lot more than what AFP Analytics was going out there and saying Necas should have been able to get. They had him as a $9.92 million player over 7 years. Necas ends up getting 11.5 over 8. Because of all the other dollar amounts that were being handed out to players, Kyle Connor got 12, Rantanen got 12, Adrian Kempe is asking for 12, and Alex Tuch could be asking for 11. You knew that Necas was not going to sign for 9-9. He wasn't going to go under 8 digits, so obviously him getting signed and getting locked up in Colorado, that is really important. And now the Avalanche can focus on greener pastures next year when they have to re-sign Cale Makar. This is what Elliot Friedman went out there and said. Colorado and Necas completed an 8-year, $11.5 million contract extension. Another UFA off the board. A front-loaded $60 million in signing bonuses deal with a full no-move clause the first 7 years of the new contract. And the question here is, you couldn't find just a little bit more money for Mikko Rantanen? Because everybody recognizes just how unfortunate that situation went down. It seemed to have been mostly miscommunication, which led to Rantanen getting traded, and not actual negotiation and realizing that they're far apart. Some of the replies go out there and say this: merchant or not, but Necas has improved his numbers this year and is on pace for 96 points now. A fair price tag for these stats given the cap's jumps. And bench rates had Martin Necas as a 93 percentile individual offensive player, a 97 percentile on-ice offensive player, and a 96 percentile contribution player. So a lot of folks going out there and giving praise for Necas and his play, which is fair. I mean, the guy has been very productive. Last season, he had, 30, 85, 83 points in 79 games played, which is admittedly a little bit of a step down because Necas did start out last season as one of the most productive players in the league. He was number 1 in scoring for a good number of weeks before inevitably getting traded. Now in Colorado, the Avalanche have kind of stunk a little bit the past little while. This losing streak was definitely not a good one. But Necas, alongside of Makar and McKinnon, was able to get up to over a point per game. He's on pace for 50 goals and 97 points. If he hits that, that would be a very good benchmark for him. And the contract that he's got will take him till he's 35 years old, so it's a very good deal. This is him in his prime being locked up. I did want to talk about a response from Riot Survivor, though, who went out there and spoke about the Necas deal saying this: I'd rather have Elias Pettersson at 11.6 than Necas at 11.5. This tweet had 9,000 views and 100 likes. That's because you wouldn't have Nate playing with him. Necas in Carolina, not worth 11.5. Necas on max wing, worth every penny. Yeah, but Pettersson doesn't have McKinnon as a line mate. I'd rather have Necas at 11.6 than PD. PD fanboys based on what? LMAO, Necas is good. There's a lot of people going out there and discussing contract numbers and how one Elias Pettersson's dollar amount relates to this. But speaking about the Vancouver Canucks, I wanted to dive into yet another talking point for a guy who happens to have a pretty beefy cap hit. You know him, you love him. He was former Toronto bound. Today we're also talking about Steven Stamkos, everybody, at 35 years old, making $8 million a year. Because a tweet from Taj goes out there and says this: Rick Dollywall said on Donnie and Dolly today, someone told him the Canucks are poking around on Stamkos. And the stanchion, Wyatt, went out there and said, yeah, I want it purely for the Sundin and Stamkos jersey legacies. Now, here's the thing. Steven Stamkos, while it's true he might be a high-profile name who does have a pretty big cap hit and has a plethora of NHL and hockey trophies, this is a guy who is just not the same player like he was 10 years ago. You can see that last year, Stamkos had 53 points in 82 games. This year, he's got a goal and an assist in 11 games. He's a -5. The Nashville Predators stink. Steven Stamkos has gone out there from a guy who put up 100 points just 4 years ago to whatever it is he's doing now. Just 2 years ago, in Tampa, he was at 81 points in 79 games. You can debate, really, that ever since Stammer went to Nashville, things just haven't been the same, and he hasn't had that same drive, nor that willingness to shoot. I mean, you take a look at some of these games, yeah, okay, I take that back. He is shooting, he's getting 3, 4, 2 shots a game, but he's not scoring. Nor is he being played as one of the top guys in Nashville. Unfortunately, he's only getting about 16, 15 minutes of time on ice per game. You look at who is actually eating up the minutes on Nashville's forward core, you will see guys like Ryan O'Reilly, you'll see Philip Forsberg up there, Marchessault too. So obviously Steven Stamkos is not being relied upon as the top dog, which is understandable. He's 35 years old. But if the Vancouver Canucks are seriously poking around on Stamkos, if they want another center option and they think Stammer is the guy to be that player, then I guess really desperate times call for desperate measures. The Vancouver Canucks, after going from Filip Chytil to Aatu Räty to talking about Pavel Zacha and now talking about Steven Stamkos, I think it really does go to show where the Canucks are at this point in their timeline. There were also conversations about Matthew Barzal because he got scratched today by the New York Islanders because he ended up missing a team bus. That obviously is pretty bad as well, but you know, I kind of wanted to talk about Stamkos just because I think he's a bigger name than Barzal is, even though Barzal is the better player right now. This is exactly what the top reply says. I know Alvin is reluctant to give up that 2026 first rounder because it's looking more and more like it could be a lottery pick. Giving that up would be a fireable offense. I hope not, unless it's Stamkos plus a pick and a prospect for Kane or future considerations. Stamkos is in clear decline, and he has badly underperformed his contract. This would have been lovely 3 years ago. Poking around means nothing, seeing as the Preds would retain 50% and take a 7th-round pick in return. Honestly, if Nashville retains a whole bunch of money and they're not really clamoring to get a whole bunch of stuff back for Steven Stamkos, if it's $4 million, if it's for a 4th-round pick or something, I honestly think about it. I don't know. Stamkos can't be that bad, right? Am I just being super optimistic because Stamkos used to be one of the best players in the damn league? I don't know. His contract goes on till 27-28, so at best, you're only getting this contract for the next 2 seasons. So, I'm not sure. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section below if Steven Stamkos should or should not be a Vancouver Canucks trade target. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments about the Martin Necas extension. What are your thoughts on the dollar amount here? $11.5 million a year for the next 8 years for Martin Necas in Colorado. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. Also, comments help out with the algorithm, so I'd appreciate it if you got involved there. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.